I thought I was recording a Mint install yesterday, but apparently I was not. So let's call it, whoops, whoa, Mint 2020 A. And then let's give it some additional memory. Okay. Let's go for 20 gig. Okay, now let's select the ISO. Let's see what we got here. Mint cinnamon is the one. Now, wait a minute. I want to say okay, but I also want to make sure that floppy is not selected because there was an issue a while back. How many processors am I? One? Nah, let's punch that up. Let's do at least, well, okay, maybe not 4, maybe 2. Okay, fine. See if that helps with the process. And here we go. So I do these install fests twice a month. In fact, here in Phoenix. And this is going to be a live, and then I'm going to use the install on the live. I just kind of want to see how long it takes for the live to start up. Because last time it was literally a minute. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, so we do these install fests at University of Advancing Technology twice a month usually. Last week I did one at Arizona State University, and I don't organize them, I just attend. In fact, well, back in 2003 I organized the one at University of Advancing Technology, the Phoenix one. But other people have been putting in a lot of work over the last 17 years and moving it forward, and I think that's great. I show up, I help out, you know, somebody's having a problem, I try to troubleshoot it or whatever, and it's fun sometimes. We go out after. One time we went out after to eat, and there was this contest to eat all this food, and this kid, skinny little thing, he won. He got his picture put up on the wall. He got a t-shirt, free food certificates. It was kind of fun, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's always fun. And we're helping the community and people in the community who, need assistance. That was so loud. Again. Okay, so it took about 1.5 2 minutes. That's not too bad to get a live going, right? Okay. So now we're going to install. Maybe. Hold on a second. Come on, install. Am I getting it? What is going on? Okay, come on. Clunky little thing. Open. That took longer than the live. Seriously. It is a little bit of a, boring process if you've done it a million times. All right, let's see. Maybe not a million. Continue in English. I want the English keyboard. Okay, there's the English keyboard. So typically a new user or someone unfamiliar with Linux, we'd give them this, although it's proprietary because a lot of times they want to play music or videos and they need the codecs. Sometimes they don't have the correct Wi-Fi driver. So just I'm not into proprietary software, but just for demonstration purposes, for today. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, they're gonna have to install the drivers anyways, unless they get a dongle, or whatever. I mean, I don't advocate proprietary at all, but yeah, that's where we're at in our open source world that we live in today. It's sad, but it's true. Although I do like Mint because they do respect your freedom more than, say, a lot of other distros. Um, yeah, so here we are, erase disk and install Linux on a virtual machine, no problem. If this is your actual dedicated machine that has Windows on it, you want to maybe back up your files, um, even make an image. I don't know how to do that in Windows. Ghosting, maybe? That was like 20 years ago. That's what they called it. But yeah, you want to see if you can't get an image of just as a backup. That's what I do when I'm installing. Um, Anyways, you can encrypt it. You can use Linux Volume Manager if you think you're gonna need to repartition or whatever, or you can do custom. So we're just gonna go with the default right now. And yes, I want to write the changes. So anyways, Ubuntu, they were not giving people an option to opt out of the data collection. But Mint was fine. You know what I mean? So, Mint's a nice little desktop for a newer user. Yeah, okay. And let's call it Mint 2020. Here we go. 2020A. Oh, 2020A. Just Mint 2020A. A, and not S. Okay, and then a password. How about a good one? All right, they match. Continue. This process takes about 10-15 minutes. I would say in total the install usually takes less than 30 minutes. First it copies files, it retrieves them, and then at the end, it'll show like, hey, restart and remove your media. So there was something I saw on here I did not like. I wanted to mention. Is it still here? Let's see. Drawing is good. Slack is okay. Oh no, this right here. Yeah, please don't use Dropbox, okay? Companies think that's okay. If you work at a company, right, or an organization, and they're using Dropbox, you may not be as snarky as me and tell them I absolutely refuse to use that tool or that platform or whatever you want to call it. Um, Dropbox is not a solution, at least in my opinion. I mean, I'm more privacy minded. Yeah, I won't like go to a conference and log into a promiscuous Wi Fi. I'll just, start my own hotspot. stuff like that. But the problem with Dropbox is when people start to accept solutions, which I don't even call it a solution, okay? They never read the terms of service. They don't read the privacy policies. And when I was at the university, the terms of service were basically, okay, put your stuff up here, but we own it. And a lot of places say, like, oh, yeah, yeah, we just have to do that for legal reasons. But, honestly, okay, so I don't have to use your service. Like, I get it. I get this a lot. Like, no, no, that's not it at all. It's because of we want to say display your thumbnails. We need to have ownership of your property, your content. No, you don't. I give you permission. You know what I'm saying? Like, I, the user, give you permission to use my files for thumbnail purposes only. But that's not how it goes. It's you're a user on their platform, so they're controlling your content that you put up there, and you are voluntarily putting your content up there, and it's not private. So maybe you don't care, but if you're an organization, you should. I know at the university they cared a lot about copyright. A lot. In fact, I was going to write a book, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, as long as you make sure the copyright is owned by the university." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that wasn't the only reason I left, but yeah, that's part of it. Like, my content is usually open. I understand work for hire. I'm going on a tangent, huh? Okay, don't use Dropbox. All right, there are private end-to-end encrypted solutions like Nextcloud. Okay, they're PHP based, but we can forgive that a little bit, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? Go with like a Ruby solution that's like under the code of censorship covenant? You're not gonna use Ruby at that point. So, kind of at a loss with all that business as well. Things were simpler before. If you want to keep your content private, don't use Dropbox. Don't use Google Docs. Okay, you don't need to. If you're on Linux, you have private options, right? Okay. I have installed Nextcloud on Mint in the past. No problem. I've used it as like my own personal private cloud, okay, which is really convenient when I was doing development because I needed to transfer files. And I'm not always going to just, connect via VNC or SSH. And since the SCP fiasco, right, what happened with SCP last year, that even the OpenSSH team had stated, you know, don't use this. Use another protocol. So let's see if I can bring up, since we're waiting, I'm going to bring this up. Hold on a second. I'm just going to look up the SSH release notes so you can see for yourself that, yeah, don't use SCP, alright? I saw something else disgusting a couple weeks ago. Puked in my mouth a little. Someone was using curl with Windows to replace a sources list. Don't do that either. I'm not saying don't do stuff. I'm just giving you some options and suggestions. Okay, I'm saying don't do it. Yeah, don't do that. If you do that, then go to the Open Collective and give a donation to the curl project as a penalty for using curl with Windows. Let's see. Wow. This is slow. Okay, here we go. Yes, parse thing. I mean, you could use DuckDuckGo. I don't know if it'll come up. Alright, come on, you slow thing. Alright, how about this? Release notes. Notes, open SSH, SCP. Okay, here we go. Release notes from April of last year. Okay. So it says, this release contains mitigation for a weakness in SCP and protocol. When copying files from a remote system to a local directory, SCP does not verify the file names that the server sent match those requested. This could allow a hostile server to create or clobber unexpected local files with attacker-controlled content. So, Release 8 does checking that the file names match. But it does also say the SCP protocol is outdated and flexible, not readily fixed. We recommend the use of more modern protocols like rsync and SFTP for file transfer instead. This is their own. They recommend you not use their tool. So, you know, these are things that you discover either in the course of your work or when you leave the cave and you go to an install fest or something, then, you know, you find this stuff out. Although I imagine some companies have no idea, some corporations, some people, you know. I mean, they like to use a lot of deprecated stuff, build their architecture around it, and then go, oh, that's deprecated? This is why it's always good to have a knowledgeable technical writer on your staff. A technical writer is someone who can do this research, who might know this stuff. Depends on, you know, their skill level. It's too bad they don't let you listen to music while you do the Twitch thing, because this is kind of boring, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I like this. Verify your ISO image. So when you get an ISO, make sure you have the MD5 and it matches. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just installing something on your computer. You don't know. I think actually at one point Mint had a crack where someone had accessed their servers and their downloads. Well, we could look that up too, since we're waiting. Okay, like, hold on. Mint, hack, ISO download. Where's it? Linux Mint website hacked. That was, wow. I guess that was 3-4 years ago. Oh, almost 4 years ago now. And what I like about Linux Mint is, look how transparent they are. They're like, hackers made a modified ISO with a back door and managed to hack the website to point at it. Like, they're totally transparent about this. And then they're like, how do you tell if it's compromised? Check the MD5 signature, right? When you customize a distro or use Respin, it will output the MD5 sum, right? So you can always check against, and your users can always check against your distro if you use Respin. Let's see. That's funny that it connects to Absent Vodka. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny. Come on. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that now. That should be. I'm sure they took care of it by this time. Otherwise, when you get your download, make sure you check against the SIG. That's all. Maybe I should do a segment on how to check your SIG, right? I mean, that would make sense if I'm doing all these installs. I'll just start checking the SIG against the ISO, and that way people can know how to do it right from the get go. Okay, I'm gonna go make some coffee now. I'm serious. I'm gonna like put the set down and go make some coffee because wow. Here, I'll put on mute. Okay, so we're there. Hold on a second. Installation complete. Let's restart it and check out Mint. You could do a test drive. It only takes 1 minute to do the test drive. I'm just saying. So, a few minutes to download the ISO, right? A couple minutes to set up your VM. 1 minute to test drive before you do the 30-minute install. Alright, come on. Please remove it and hit enter. I like their logo. Circular logos are really appealing to people. At least that's what I learned in school. And no, I'm not gonna do that. Ew. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, let's try to remember the password from a half hour ago. Hmm. So loud. Okay. So I did this before where I launched the driver manager, which was new to me. Um, and it didn't really do anything, so it's just welcome to Mint. Wait a minute. Is that the same logo that I'm using for my FAQ Linux? That like light bulb with. Are they using that? Wait a minute. Crap. That's interesting. Well, I'm not changing my logo. Mm-hmm. Oh, what's that? Hmm. That's like boring. Yeah, no proprietary drivers in use. I could have told you that. Alright, and there it is, Mint. There's your. It's cinnamon, so there's your menu. That clunky looking thing. That at first I was like, huh? So like instead of having like something that comes out, it just shows up, and you think, what the heck? But yeah, and then You're like, okay, where's the rest of the accessories? Well, here's that bar on the side. Now, what I like about Mint is it does have a default image writer and a formatter for USB, which is very cool. Like Kali doesn't have that, at least not that I've seen recently. And so instead of DDing an image, you can just use the image writer. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's simple. It's very basic, right? And that's it. That's it. We're done with the install. All right. Let me just save it and yeah, have a good one.